A little extra cash is on the way for Ontario taxpayers. The Ford government's $200 tax rebate check will officially be mailed out this month. And as Tyreek Reed tells us, Ontarians say they are ready to start spending.
I do think it would help to have a little bit more money in Ontarians' pockets.
That help is on the way. Ontario taxpayers are set to get slightly richer by the end of the month. The Ontario government has confirmed that a $200 rebate check will land in mailboxes over the next few weeks.
That's money that families can use to pay off their credit card after the holidays, to buy a winter coat for their kids, or to cover the cost of gassing up the family car.
Families can also expect an additional $200 for each eligible child. Ford says money for the checks will come from increased provincial sales tax revenue due to higher inflation over the last few years, and revenue generated by federal changes to the capital gains tax. It's a move that will come at a cost of $3 billion, and Ontarians say they're ready to start spending.
Any extra money is good, yeah. I'll use it wisely.
In what kind of way?
Groceries.
Gas, food, the basics. Well, it's not too bad at all.
Make one trip to the grocery store, that will probably do it.
Some even have more costly bills in mind.
Yeah, I'm moving back to school to go finish my degree, so that'll go right to my rent check.
But while some taxpayers are eager to cash their checks, some experts say the help is a start, but it's not the end.
For some of the most economically disenfranchised households, I don't think that the $200 does enough in terms of addressing some of the rising costs that they have, like the rising cost of rents and the rising cost of groceries and the lack of supply of affordable and non-market housing.
It's a step in the right direction, yeah. I think they could do more, though.
The rebate checks are expected to arrive late January or early February. Tyreek Reed, CBC News, Toronto.
It has been a rocky couple of months for the federal Liberals and the Prime Minister, with Trudeau's own MPs calling for him to resign. We spoke with people today in MP Marco Menino's riding of Eglinton Lawrence, reacting to the news that Menino won't be defending his seat in the looming federal election.
I think it's just a broader sense that even Trudeau's own cabinet doesn't really have confidence in him anymore. And so, I suppose there's a general exodus of the Liberal MPs who are saying they don't have confidence in the government anymore.
Menino is one of at least 30 Liberal MPs not seeking re-election. He will stay on to represent his riding on Parliament Hill for the remainder of the session. Menino was once a key member of Trudeau's cabinet, serving as Minister of Immigration in 2019 and as Minister of Public Safety in 2021. Pickering City Council will be moving all their meetings online for 2025 following security threats posed by the supporters of one city councillor. Tyler Cheese explains.
Pickering City Councillor Lisa Robinson has been a repeat guest on a podcast city officials have called extremist. The city has used clips of the podcast in a video it says shows why they need to move council meetings online.
I watched your dog take a bone that was about this big, literally out of a pork chop, and crunch the thing into powder in less than 1 minute. Why don't we take your dog to these city council meetings and let her loose?
Pickering's mayor says Robinson's fellow guest on that podcast showed up at a city council meeting and was removed by security after filming in the council chambers.
We made the determination because of the increased threats of violence, the intimidation, most of it done on social media. But even as recently as our last council meeting, we had 4 or 5 people that had to be escorted out of our chambers.
The nearly 13-minute-long video posted to the city's YouTube channel earlier this week outlines a number of other incidents involving Robinson. That includes appearing on the podcast where the host called her fellow councillors pedophiles and Nazis. Robinson later apologized and denounced the host's comments. In September, she received a 90-day pay suspension for a continued pattern of unacceptable behavior determined by the city's integrity commissioner. Since then, the city says the mayor, councillors, and staff have received several threats from her supporters.
Your day of reckoning will come.
Robinson responded to the city's move with her own video, saying the city's video is laughable.
It's honestly laughable to any reasonable person. They are the ones that are creating this fear when there is none.
But the mayor feels it's justified.
It shows proof of what we're up against, and it's time that the press and our residents get the real message in terms of what's happening.
In the meantime, some Pickering residents say they're frustrated this situation has taken center stage at City Hall.
This entire ordeal that the city has been dealing with and going through, that the mayor and others have highlighted very clearly, has been a massive, massive distraction from the real issues facing the city.
He feels the move to online meetings is justified, but worries residents won't engage with council as much as they do in person. But Pickering residents will be able to view meeting live streams on YouTube. And delegations from the public can also be delivered on Microsoft Teams. Tyler Cheese, CBC News, Toronto.
For a little over a year now, a former Toronto City Councillor and member of provincial parliament has been living in a homeless shelter. Lorenzo Berardinetti fell on hard times after some health problems a few years ago. Now he's getting some much-needed help from some of his former political colleagues on both sides of the aisle. Greg Ross shares his story.
Since November of 2023, Lorenzo Berardinetti has been coming to the Ajax Public Library almost daily. Most here don't know that he had a career in politics that spanned 3 decades.
So I did 5 terms at the City of Toronto and Scarborough, each 3 years, so 15 years municipally as a city councillor. And then I was asked to run provincially by the provincial Liberals. So in 2003 I ran, I won, and I stayed in there for a total of 4 elections, 15 years.
He hasn't been in office since 2018, when he lost his Scarborough seat in the provincial election. A few years later, in the summer of 2021, things would take another turn for Berardinetti after he had a life-altering seizure.
I ended up in the hospital, and I was in a coma for about a month. And then eventually I went home at the end of August of 2021, and the doctors told me just to rest. You know, the brain needs time to heal.
A year later, he made an attempt to return to politics, but still hadn't fully recovered.
I tried to run for city councillor, but I found that the energy was not there. Like, it was hard to, to mobilize. And so I didn't win, and I applied for different jobs, but it was hard, at my age.
Unable to find work, Berardinetti would burn through all of his savings just trying to survive. Things got so bad in 2023, he eventually lost the home he was renting and was forced to go and live in a shelter in Ajax.
Very emotional first night. Like, what am I doing here? Like, why am I here? And kind of a shock to my system. But I had nowhere else to go, either that or sleep outside.
He's been on a waiting list to get housing, but nothing has opened up yet. Recently, one of his former colleagues learned about his troubles after reading about him in the Toronto Star.
I was in complete shock having known Lorenzo and seeing him from a distance. I didn't know him very well, but I worked at Toronto City Hall in the early days of Megacity.
Justin Vendette decided to start a GoFundMe to help Berardinetti.
We felt a GoFundMe page would be a good way to contribute and to try and get his life back on track and to ultimately get him into some accommodation and get him out of that shelter.
The GoFundMe has surpassed its goal of $25,000, with several of Berardinetti's former colleagues from both sides of the aisle contributing. He says he's grateful for Vendette's help.
I remember him back from City Hall days in City of Toronto. I hadn't seen him since then. But then it clicked, and I know who he was, and he goes, I'm going to set up a GoFundMe page for you. And he's conservative, and I'm liberal.
Berardinetti says in addition to trying to find a new home, he's working towards getting his license to practice law reinstated. He says it was paused back in the 1990s while he was working as a politician. Greg Ross, CBC News, Ajax.
A Brampton man charged in an international drug trafficking case involving a former Canadian Olympian will remain in custody for now. Hardy Pratte was hoping to be released on bail today, but the judge put off making a decision. As Thomas Daigle tells us, it comes as U.S. authorities warn about the drug ring's alleged kingpin and the threat that he still poses.
Family members appeared in court one after the other, leaving in a white Cadillac after each pledging $200,000 to act as sureties for this man. Hardy Pratte from Brampton, Ontario, is accused of running the Canadian trucking network for a transnational drug trafficking empire.
They were distributing approximately 60 tons of cocaine every year.
The alleged leader of that murderous criminal enterprise, one-time Olympic snowboarder Ryan Wedding. Formerly from Coquitlam, BC, wedding is seen here in a rare, recent picture taken somewhere sometime last year. The alleged drug lord on the run from the FBI and apparently still posing a threat. U.S. prosecutors seeking in a new court filing to better protect the names of witnesses, warning wedding is at large and likely still has a network of hitmen.
My father was shot in front of me. I heard my mother's last screams, and after that, it was complete silence.
More than a year ago, investigators say one of those hitmen opened fire in this Caledon, Ontario home, killing Jagtar and Herbajan Sidhu in a case of mistaken identity. Their daughter Jaspreet was shot 13 times.
Some days are filled with pain, lots of pain.
Mexico's security minister even highlighted the arrest of Wedding's second in command, captured in the country where Wedding himself could be hiding out.
I would think that with that much attention, it increases the likelihood that he's going to be caught in some way.
As for Hardeep Ratte, in court asking to be released on bail, the judge said he'll make a decision later. U.S. prosecutors want Ratte extradited to stand trial. He faces a life sentence if convicted, and so does Wedding if he's ever caught. Thomas Daigle, CBC News, Toronto.
Toronto area teens' recent arrest highlights a concerning trend among Canadian youth, online radicalization. Last month, the RCMP and CSIS warned they're becoming increasingly concerned. Lane Harrison has more on how that happens and what can be done about it.
It doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, it's part of a trend that we've been seeing for quite a few years now.
The recent arrest of a Newmarket teen suspected of planning to join ISIS may shock some, but not those who've been paying attention to extremism in Canada. Last month, Canada and its Five Eyes allies warned more effort is needed to fight online radicalization.
Unfortunately, sometimes you have kids who they're just not connecting with the community. There's something else happening in their life, and that's why they're looking to these alternative methods and means.
While ISIS has come into focus after a recent terrorist attack in New Orleans, the Five Eyes warning includes cases of minors falling into other extremist groups, like white supremacy organizations. And the agencies say the internet has become a powerful tool for reaching new members.
What happens is these intersection of mental health, social health factors combine, and then they're exposed to online communities that welcome them in, that say, you know, the reason why your life isn't going so well is because of these people, it's because of immigrants.
David O'Brien works at Yorktown Family Services in Toronto, which runs a federally funded program aimed at de-radicalizing youth.
It's a growing threat, it's a growing problem, but at Yorktown, our focus is really the underlying mental health and social health factors that leave people vulnerable to that recruitment. So really it's about building relationships and trust and beginning to build a life outside of the online community they might be being recruited into. And so, you know, helping them re-engage with school, working with schools to make sure that they're included in the school activities.
For parents, he says there are warning signs someone may have been radicalized. Increased isolation, more time spent online, and in some extreme cases, the purchasing of weapons like knives or BB guns on the internet. He says some parents may be afraid to come forward, worried their child could be stigmatized or arrested. But once they do, they're relieved. Lane Harrison, CBC News, Toronto.
The OPP have charged a 37-year-old man in connection with a road rage incident in Northern Ontario. Take a look.
Nick, I'm in danger. I'm in danger. I'm in danger. Why are you running into me?
It happened on Monday near Temiskaming Shores, about 19 minutes north of North Bay. Dashcam footage shows a white SUV ramming into a car multiple times. Police say they used a spike belt to eventually stop that SUV. Both the victim and the accused were treated for minor injuries. The suspect is facing charges, including dangerous operation of a vehicle, resisting arrest, and assaulting a police officer, all over road rage. The city is opening 5 warming centers this evening, with frigid temperatures forecast to plunge the GTA into a deep freeze well into next week. Centers open at 5 tonight. The facilities open when temperatures fall to -5 or below. 2 of the warming centers are downtown. 1 is in the Annex and the other 2 are in Scarborough and North York. We'll check in with Colette on when temperatures will warm up a little later in the show. For the second year in a row, Canada is missing out on a medal at the Men's World Juniors, a tournament we have dominated in the past, but this time a crushing case of deja vu, with the team knocked out for the second straight year in the quarterfinal by the same opponent. Oh boy, the Czech Republic scored the winning goal in the dying seconds of regulation time, locking up a 4-3 win. Canadian fans were shocked by the home ice loss. One of the emerging Canadian stars, Whitehorse's Gavin McKenna, spoke about the disappointment.
I wish we could have did more for the fans and the people of Canada. It sucks we had to go out this way, but I hate to say it, but there's always next year. So I wish we could have got it done this year, but I don't know. We'll look at the positives, I guess.
It's not just the players who are glum about the tournament's end. Hockey Canada management saying falling to the Czechs in the quarters once again shouldn't have happened. Chopping up many of the tournament's struggles to poor discipline.
Like other Canadians, I'm incredibly disappointed. I'm apologetic to Hockey Canada, to our volunteers, our members, to the fans here. It's not unacceptable, but we can't accept it.
But that means it's unacceptable anyway. I digress. The Czech Republic will now face off against the U.S. to determine which team will head to the gold medal game. The team will play either Sweden or Finland in the final. Frustrations came to a peak this summer as the TTC put in dozens of reduced speed zones along its subway lines. That number has improved as we roll into the new year, but the agency says slow zones will always be around. Patrick Swadden has more.
If you feel like you could run faster than this Line 1 train, well, many probably could. It's moving between 10 to 15 kilometers an hour through a reduced speed zone, leaving some subway riders frustrated.
From here to St. Clair West, it is extremely slow, and sometimes I'm trying to get to the GO buses. I miss the bus.
And he's not the only one who has. At the height of summer, the TTC implemented nearly 36 of those slow zones, areas where trains have to slow down because the tracks need maintenance or repair. It's gotten much better over the last few months, with only 10 remaining.
Will never be zero because we need to manage expectations. We don't want to set an unrealistic expectation for people.
The TTC saying aging infrastructure is often in need of repairs, and slowing down trains is just a way to extend the life of the tracks.
I think their goal is ridiculous.
But this transit advocate asks, why can't we aim a little higher?
The number of zones, as I say, you're always going to have a few, but they should be small in number and short-lived.
And while many have disappeared, some slow zones, particularly on Line 1, have been around for months. The agency saying the outdoor track segments are prone to weather and wear, causing unevenness that leads to more strain on the tracks.
If it's a small, a few millimeters off, that requires a complete resettling of the ballast, that takes a lot of time. We have very limited time to go in and do these repairs overnight.
The TTC's geometric survey last year led to a dramatic increase in reduced speed zones. The next survey scheduled for this spring.
That involves a very detailed deep dive in a way that we don't do as part of routine maintenance. We always see the numbers increase during those.
This is the product of years of underinvestment, and finally the bill is coming due.
Frustration from another advocate after a turbulent year for the TTC. 8 hydraulic fuel spills in the first half of the year. In September, CEO Rick Leary stepped down, leaving only a temporary successor in place as the TTC board is set to discuss its budgets next Friday.
We'll be looking to see if there's any answers about what it will take to actually fix slow zones and not have that be the new normal.
Patrick Swadden, CBC News, Toronto.
So I was complaining about my shovel not getting into work, and Colette's 2 centimeters maybe for us is not enough. And then I got the Dwight, be careful what you wish for, buddy.
Exactly. Take your shovel, drive up, help some of the folks.
Exactly. I got some family up
Midland.
north.
They could use a hand, right? Yeah, we are talking about a little bit of a dusting kind of coming into the city tomorrow, but it's enough that at times we get that burst and it reduces visibility. So I'd watch out for that in Toronto kind of tomorrow morning, especially, but it could happen at other times of the day as well. I want to show you the big picture because we know, we've got some colder temperatures that have dropped in, but just looking at the jet stream and how far south it is allowing that cold Arctic air to push in, not just across the Great Lakes, but really well below that into the Midwestern U.S., and it just kind of doubles down into the beginning of next week. So if anything, our temperatures actually here are going to be getting colder. Daytime high today, okay, that's being a little generous with 0 for Toronto. It was like minus 0.4 or something. So trying to get there up to freezing. Generally, temperatures are going to stay below, and certainly those wind chills are a factor. So looking at the winds, these are the gusts for tomorrow. They shift. Today we were more towards the northwesterly flow. Tomorrow it's more westerly, and that moves where the snow squalls occur. But it is going to be a breezy day tomorrow, so it's going to have quite a cold feel as those winds are blowing. And in terms of the snowfall, we'll be seeing some of the pocketed areas where we're going to be looking at an additional 30 centimeters. Yes, around Barrie, that potential is there up towards Midland through that region. You know, Owen Sound, perhaps it's closer to 15 centimeters kind of through there. It's highly localized, as we know, with these squalls and what we see. So the watches and warnings kind of flip the areas today. These will keep moving as the winds shift. We need to shift those warnings closer to the tip of Georgian Bay, and that's what will happen. Here it is tomorrow morning. You see how that streamer coming off of Lake Huron makes its way into the city. So I'd say northern parts of the GTA could pick up 3 to 5 centimeters, but it's probably adjusting to a couple centimeters closer to the lakeshore. And then a couple of things happening. A big system off the east coast, a bomb cyclone, a windstorm there for Atlantic Canada, and then this major storm, major winter storm passing along the Midwestern U.S. to the eastern seaboard, heavy snow, stormy weather south, and perhaps some extensive freezing rain and ice. So just some terrible travel conditions all around. Our lows tonight, yeah, we're falling to about -6, but it'll feel like -13, and our high tomorrow will be only -3. And just check out those overnight lows, Sunday night, Monday night. Yeah, we've got some chilly air in place.
We are heading into the double digits, as we should, because it is winter.
And your shovel may get some work.
Thank you, Colette. That's our show for tonight. Thank you for joining us. Have a great night, everybody.